I am a sexual assault survivor. Not once. And I'm not talking about, oh, I was catcalled in the street and it offended and triggered me. No, I am an actual sexual assault survivor. Multiple times a sexual assault survivor in my childhood. And I can tell you that what is being done to Brett Kavanaugh once again by the left-wing media and Democrat lawmakers in the name of political grandstanding is doing more to harm the entire Me Too movement and all sexual assault survivors than the patriarchy has ever done or could ever do. Remember back when the Me Too movement actually did some good? I know. It was like a very fleeting moment, really fast. If you blinked, you might have missed it. But there were some actual positive outcomes that resulted from the beginning, the inception of the Me Too movement. There were some really bad characters who were hiding behind their societal status, behind their elitism. They were the untouchables. And finally, the Me Too movement struck them. Karma hit them. And it was great. And then, before we knew it, these third wave feminists who latched on to the Me Too movement, who got behind this movement, who got a taste for power and control, and let's be honest, that's what they wanted all along, right, is to dominate all males. So they seized on this opportunity to deny due process to innocent men, to our fathers, to our sons. And they have actually done now more damage to the Me Too movement as a whole than the patriarchy has ever done or could ever do. Let's take the recent New York Times debacle, the hit piece on Brett Kavanaugh, for instance. The New York Times engaging in complete character assassination. They published a hit piece about Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh in which they alleged that Kavanaugh's friends pushed his penis into the hands of an unsuspecting woman. Now, there are multiple problems with this story. I got it. It's not lost on me. One being, friends pushing a dude's penis into someone else's hands. I got some questions. Not to mention, that wouldn't be Kavanaugh's fault to begin with. That would be the fault of his friends, not actually something we should impeach him or ruin his life over. But I digress. The biggest problem with this story is that the alleged victim is like, yeah, I don't actually ever remember that happening. I'm pretty sure it didn't happen. So the victim, the person that you're saying it happened to, is actually saying, I don't think that happened to me. So you've got one guy. Now, you've got one lone male who's saying it happened, Max Stier, who just so happened to work for Bill Clinton's defense when he was on trial for impeachment. He just so happened to work for Bill Clinton's defense. I'm sure it's totally unrelated. This guy, this one guy, is saying Brett Kavanaugh's friends pushed his penis into the hands of an unsuspecting woman. Then you've got the New York Times. No integrity. No decency left. Just so rabid, so foaming at the mouth, chomping at the bit to own the cons, that they run with this story, even though the vetting of the story clearly shows there is absolutely no corroboration, especially from the most important subject of the story, the alleged victim, who, by the way, we are supposed to believe, right? Isn't that the mantra? Believe all women. You've got a man saying it happened. You've got a man saying that something either did or didn't take place. You've got a woman saying differently. Aren't we told we are supposed to believe the woman? Interesting how that works. Even with their little editor's note, and even with the correction that, oh, oops, by the way, not only is the alleged victim declining to be interviewed, she also doesn't recall this at all. Sorry about that. And even with their same source saying, by the way, you remember Christine Blasey Ford's testimony? You know, the most credible testimony that we had, and even that wasn't that credible. Well, same source as this ridiculous allegation also said that Christine Blasey Ford, her childhood best friend Leland Keezer, she says that this did not pass the smell test. Blasey Ford's testimony, she never believed. And not only did she not believe it, she says that Blasey Ford and Ford's allies actually pressured her into changing her story. That preponderance of evidence wasn't accounted for at all. And they still ran with the hit piece. The New York Times still ran with this hit piece to paint a narrative that Brett Kavanaugh, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't heard this before, on repeat, on some tired record player that just needs to be taken to the garbage. Brett Kavanaugh is a sexual predator, even though there is absolutely no proof indicating that is the case. Now, I want to get something very clear. I am a sexual assault survivor. Not once. And I'm not talking about, oh, I was catcalled in the street and it offended and triggered me. No, I am an actual sexual assault survivor. Multiple times a sexual assault survivor in my childhood. And I can tell you that what is being done to Brett Kavanaugh, once again, by the left-wing media and Democrat lawmakers in the name of political grandstanding is doing more to harm the entire Me Too movement and all sexual assault survivors than the patriarchy has ever done or could ever do. Because now we are denying due process. We are completely denying due process to innocent until proven guilty people. Now we are smearing men's reputations based on politically calculated moves. You've got Kamala Harris out there. No kidding. Kamala Harris, a woman herself, she's supposed to be a proponent of women. She's supposed to be a voice for all these women, and she's going to make sure that sexual assault accusations are taken seriously. You've got Kamala Harris out there saying an absence of proof doesn't mean this particular allegation did not occur. We know what? In this country, it does. Kamala, which means, by the way, that I can't accuse you of murder. I can't say, hey, Kamala Harris, a really long time ago, murdered a bunch of my friends. I can't accuse you of that, have no corroborative witnesses, and then put the onus on you to prove that it didn't happen. I can't do that in America. That is a mockery of the criminal justice system, which, by the way, Kamala Harris should be very well versed in, considering she put many people behind bars for far less than sexual assault. And more importantly, it is a mockery of all the sexual assault survivors who do have these acts permanently etched in their brains, who do have to live with these memories every single day of their lives. So to say that anyone can just claim sexual assault and be believed is to say that no sexual assault claim should be taken seriously. I am a sexual assault survivor. I cannot stress this enough. I am also a mother and a daughter who doesn't take kindly to others making a mockery of what I went through just to demonize an innocent man who may disagree with you politically. Truth still matters. Facts matter. You really care about the Me Too movement? You really care about women? Then do all of us a favor who have to live with the scars of being a sexual assault survivor and stop making a joke out of what we went through. Don't believe all women. And by the way, don't believe one lone man who claims something happened magically 40 years later. Don't cheapen what I went through. Because at the end of the day, all it does is discredit the Me Too movement as a whole. All it does is discredit all of the sexual assault survivors who do come forward. And the next woman who actually was a survivor of true sexual assault may not be believed. And you know why that is? It will be because the left has completely thrown due process overboard in the name of political gains. And that is on the left to completely own. What's up, everybody? Don't forget to follow and like my page. You can find me all over social media at Sara Gonzales TX. And don't forget to subscribe to my new YouTube channel, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Go there now. Go, go, go.